continues.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is why it continues, because that parent or that caregiver is excusing that behavior because that person's the provider.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Welcome. This is welcome to, what do we call this?
An interview for Ashes Never Rest. That's just what it is right here. Yep.
Welcome you all. Is this like a podcast?
No.
It's just
long form. We talked to them. They know what's going on today. It's a long form content. Yeah.
All right, cool. Welcome you guys. Thank you all for tuning in to our special conversation that we're having with the actress herself. Could you introduce yourself and what role did you play?
absolutely. My name is Sunday Sabbath, and I play the role of Nana, aka Miss Rose.
All right. And we have the director, Mr.
Deshaun DeBose, yes sir, director, producer, and writer, yes sir. And this is my assistant director, Jamal Thomas.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it's so many J's on this team. I'm gonna say Jones, Johnson, it's so many George. It's so many of them, but this is Jamal Thomas, my first AD, and if he'll have me, he'll continue to be working my first AD.
Oh my God!
He'll continue in that capacity. My boy been doing this thing.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, and thank you for the script. Thank you for the project in itself.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I guess what inspired you? Wait, do we ask that question again?
You can. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is this like gonna be like a continuation of the first interview?
No, they're going to be broken up into like their individual interviews, and they're going to air at different times, so different people could hear the same, could hear a different answer.
Okay. All right. Cool. What gave you the inspiration to want to create Ashes Never Rest?
So the first part of the script, about 20 pages in, just kind of created itself. It just happened. Sat down, decided I wanted to write a film 5 years ago, and the script kind of manifested. And then after revisiting the script, kind of just sat down, I was able to pour a bit of myself into it, and that's when it materialized into what it is now. I was really able to make it my own, and that's how we got that full feature. It was really, it's funny, Jalondra probably knows this because she's been part of the team from the very beginning, right? So initially, all I had written was Act 1 for this film. So and we were going to just film it as two separate acts. We were going to film Act 1 and then come back later on and film Act 2. But when I saw everyone's availability, it was like, okay, we got to actually make this happen. And so I actually had to write the rest of it on the fly. And honestly, it just kind of worked in and of itself. Like I said, I poured myself into it, really made the script my own, and it just became what it was.
With you writing on the fly, what gave you that domestic violence approach, and what gave you that the psychological leeway into going that route?
So in terms of domestic violence, that was just an element I felt would take the story to another level. And when I plugged it in, I started the writing process, just going back into it. I'm like, okay, this is actually a talking point. There's a conversation here that needs to be had. Now I can be intentional. You know, I'm not just generating ideas. Now I'm intentional about this process. I can really play with it and get really creative with the writing process. And then in terms of the psychological aspect, I mean, my favorite genre was psychological horror. That was, off real, it was always going to be this play on psychology. I think anything I do in general, even outside of horror, is going to be some kind of psychological element to it. I've talked to Nick and a few other people about some of the future projects that I want to bring to the table, and all deals with the mental state in some way, shape, or form. I feel like that's a very creative way of tackling certain issues or whatnot. I'm a fan of Fight Club. I'm a fan of Memento. I'm a fan of what's another great one? I feel like Taxi Driver was just an interesting film, right? Mm-hmm. So it's when it comes to the whole mental aspect of filmmaking, that's my play. So yeah.
Got you. And Miss Nana.
Yes.
How was it portraying Nana? Like, what headspace did you have to get into to bring that character to life?
Well, for me, Nana was not the typical stay-at-home bake cookies type grandmother.
Mhm.
She has a past. I think just from going through the script and how she dealt with Khalid and his mother, which is her daughter,
Yeah.
I think Nana has some, quite possible, has some dark stuff in her past.
Yeah.
And as she got older and grown, she's trying to be more maternal and more, because I don't think she was always that way. And that's just my take on her. I think there are a lot of levels to her,
Yeah.
good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. And although she portrays this religious, spiritual, Christian type, I think it's more to her than that.
Yeah.
It can almost be a facade to cover up some other stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely. And that was my take on Miss Nana, aka Miss Rose. Yeah.
All right, Miss Rose. All right.
No, that was beautiful, and I love how she just she was able to create a character backstory based on just what she had.
Mhm.
And it was interesting too because it was exactly what she was supposed to take from it. She was really in that mode because there was never a conversation or ask. You never really asked me any questions about what about this character, what about that. You know, some actors like to inquire, but you just went right in. And the fact that she took that just from reading the script, that's actually phenomenal. Yeah, yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
All right, and with Nana, well, in the story, Nana and Layla never really just spoke about, their relationship with their with with their relationship, but you always encourage Khalid to go and check on her. Um, why do you think that there was even though that's your daughter, you always want family to stick together and everything. What was the necessary point of you making reminding Khalid to go over and check on
And
Layla?
check on. Again, I think they definitely have a straight relationship. And again, this is my backstory. Layla and her mother. There's definitely domestic abuse in that background,
Okay.
and Nana lived it
Okay.
from her husband or Layla's, father, whatever. And her thing is, my daughter think this is how it's supposed to be because she saw me go through that and I accepted it because he paid the bills, he took care of the family. So whatever he did was I could deal with it. And I know what she's going through, but I don't want to overstep the boundary because she has the absolute right to say, well, you did it. Okay, you went through it.
Yeah.
So kind of, who are you to tell me how to live my life? Who are you to tell me this? And that is why also Nana accepts Leia's boyfriend's abuse towards her daughter because she's from that same mindset. Yeah, you could take a hit, but he's paying the bills. He's taking care of you. He's taking care of Khalid, and Khalid's not even his son.
Yeah.
So definitely a strained relationship. And I think her thought process is if Khalid is there more of a presence, then maybe he can stop some of that abuse that's going on between his mother and her living boyfriend. So it's a lot of different levels there. A lot of different levels there. She want to protect her, and at the same time, she don't want to overstep. And at the same time, she doesn't want to make him mad because they need his income to take care of all of them to a certain point. So I think when you start delving into a lot of victims of domestic violence, it's like, why did she stay? Those are some of the reasons. Financial, for the sake of who else is going to want me. Also, he has beat into her head so much that you can't go anywhere. No one's just going to want you. What you're going to do? Who's going to take care of you and your son and your mother? So Leia, just like Nana did in the past, just lay down like a woman.
You know what? The fact, again, going back to the fact that she just wrote out an entire backstory is so interesting because someone actually came to me and asked a question about her being referred to as Miss Rose rather than Mrs. Rose. So it was always a question of was she married? Was she ever married? I'm like, I'm gonna leave that open for interpretation for the actors to really get into it. But yes, essentially this idea that Nana wasn't so much of approving what was taking place, but accepting of it because of the nature of what her past was, what her experiences were, and then the fact of that mindset of what he's providing, he's doing X, Y, and so forth and so on. I think you being able to understand that and then being able to convey that in the film also plays into the message of domestic violence and how the cycle kind of
The
continues.
cycle continues.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is why it continues, because that parent or that caregiver is excusing that behavior because that person's the provider.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So it seemed like Nana didn't want to relive those moments of domestic violence.
Right.
You know, with you not speaking directly to like
Exactly.
but wanting to
Mhm.
colleagues to step in and everything like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And are you a mom?
I am not a mom.
You are not a mom.
I am
Okay.
not a mom.
But I'm sure you have some god kids. I'm sure you
Absolutely, I
have
have
some niece and
nieces
nephew
and
that you have.
nephews and godkids and all my best friends been around her kids from the time they were babies to they're now, college graduates doing their own things. So definitely.
And how do you encourage them? Or do your nieces, or even just like nieces, cousins, and like women that you that have, what am I asking? All right, how do you encourage them to not deal with that?
Okay, one of the things I tell young women, and I preach it, preach to them. The only thing that you can give away is your reputation. That's number one. That's the only thing you give away. Anything else is whatever. But you give away your reputation. And it's up to you to give away your strength, your pride, your dignity, yourself of who you are. If you want to give that away, if that should be very important to you. You should demand that whomever you deal with, be it platonic, romantic, homegirl, boyfriend, whatever, siblings even. You have to demand that respect. Respect me as a whole person. You have to have boundaries. You have to have boundaries, and I want young women, to take the message that's in this story, so many other stories, that domestic violence is not excused at any level. It is not okay at any level. And what's important, and it sounds so cliche, because we hear it all the time, when we say love shouldn't hurt, there's some truth to it. It's not supposed to hurt. So it doesn't matter if that person's paying house notes, car notes, college, taking care of your kids, his kids, treating like a queen in public. Behind the doors, if he's hitting you, mistreating you, be it verbal, mental, physical, sexual abuse, that's not love. And you have to be strong enough to walk away from that. You are worth more than that mortgage, that car, that handbag, you are worth more than that. So it's a conversation that we need to continue to have over and over and over again until hopefully one day, I'm very kumbaya-ish, that we never even know what domestic violence is. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Somebody asks you, what is domestic violence? You're like, huh, what is domestic violence? Wouldn't that just be wonderful to be so far removed from it that we have to question what it is because we never heard of it?
Yeah. How do you think that we get away from domestic violence?
Conversations. We have to talk. We have to not be afraid to talk about what's going on behind closed doors. Yeah. So that's a lot of things. People don't want people in their business. Yeah. They want people to think that they're weak. You have a lot of women who are high-powered professional women. You even have women who are police officers, lawyers, doctors.
The strong percent.
Yes, are victims of domestic violence. So we have to start being ashamed of it. Okay, it's a dirty word, but yeah, that's a dirty word we need to talk about. So that's one of the first things we have to do. We have to talk about it. And I say this especially in the Black community. Okay, we don't want to talk about the ugly that's going on behind the door. We think that getting therapy is like, oh my God, Black people don't go to therapy. Black people need to go to therapy. And Black people have issues, just like everybody else. Issues does not have a color. So in order to get a handle on domestic violence, it has to be talked about at an early age. When you start seeing aggression in young men or in young women too at an early age, that needs to be talked about. A lot of people think, okay, he's being a man because he's aggressive and he's brutal and he's da 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 da. If it's not on the football field, he's getting paid for it. He does not need that type of behavior.
Right.
So it's a conversation that needs to be had amongst families, amongst friends, in the church. It needs to be brought up in the church.
That's a perfect place.
That's a perfect place. We have to open our eyes up to it, and it has to be put on the discussion table. In its raw form. It's ugly, absolutely. But until we talk about the ugly and cut through the fat of the ugly is still going to be there. So it's a conversation that has to be made.
Now, question: what made you want to take on the role of Nana, or even be a part of the film?
First of all, you have this young creative team of these very smart, talented Black men and women. Want to be a part of that. Want to applaud that. Want to support that in any way I can. So that was one of the first things. Oh my God, they're young, they're Black, they're doing this. So that was one. And then for me, I always want to take on I call them the ugly roles that a lot of women don't want to touch. I've encountered women my age who don't want to play the older woman age. I'm like, well, why not?
Yeah.
Women who don't want to play, if it's not a sexy, powerful, whatever role, they don't want to play. I'm like, so you don't want to play real people? I like portraying real people. Nana's a real person.
Yeah.
So yes, I was very excited to be offered the role of Nana, so I can go ahead and delve into her and create her background, her relationships with everyone around her, and make her real. So I enjoyed that.
And you did it well.
Yeah,
you did well.
You did it well. Once you was a one take wonder, we were able to just
yeah. Okay, bro. Okay.
It was great. It was great.
Absolutely. It was a wonderful experience. I say the cast and crew were top notch, and some of the best I have worked with. And again, would love to be a part of your next endeavor down the road. Absolutely. And maybe next time I wear belly chain, she knows what I'm talking about. That's a whole nother thing.
Because I just, in my mind, you were a different type of Nana. And you became your own Nana, and I couldn't really hurt me artistically to have that artistic difference.
Next time I will wear a belly chain.
I will.
Belly chain in the sense of like security, like
yes.
Okay. I like the
it was a necklace, but in my mind, I instantly went to put it around her waist while she was wearing her headband and like all her ceremonial stuff. And I was like, oh my bad, and I like snap out of it. We laughed. We were like,
so there was a different. So now there was a different type of Nana.
Nana has different layers. Nana might wear that belly chain, on the weekend.
There you go.
And so it seems like you can relate in some aspect of Nana.
Yes.
What they related to you with Nana?
My own personal background, my mother, my grandmothers, my aunties, the older women from the church that I grew up with, So all that. And that's what I do. Doesn't matter what the role is. I don't know how anyone else goes about it. I always find something relatable and true about that character that's in me. Or at the very least, someone I know very closely. That's my Aunt Colleen. Aunt Colleen was spoke. Okay, I can do this. Or, whatever the case may be. So I like taking bits and pieces of real people, real experiences, and then mash them into the role. And that will help you create a real person. Because one thing I learned about acting, what you never want to do on camera is act.
It is. She said it.
I never heard it right now, but okay.
Yeah, it is.
That's it. You never want to. Oh my God, no, I know. Oh, she's acting. You don't want that.
Yeah.
You want to just be who that person is, and you're that person. So when I'm there, I'm there.
So are you like a method actor, or like you like feel the character, or like
sometimes I take a bits and pieces from different types of methods, different types of acting disciplinaries, and create my own.
I actually had this conversation in the last interview with Jacoby, and she touched on it, like you never want to be acting on camera. Like we have a lot of actors that just are acting.
You're acting.
And then I don't want to see you act. People kind of I mentioned this in the other interview. People kind of pick at guys like Denzel. They'll pick at Al Pacino. So with the song, they feel like, oh, they just play the same guys in every film. No, they find a piece of themselves in that character, and they make the character real.
Exactly.
So it's that's why these characters kind of take on the life of themselves.
Mhm.
You know, we don't watch Godfather. We're not thinking of Al Pacino. We're thinking of Michael Corleone.
Exactly.
Granted, we know as a lot of Al Pacino there, he was able to connect with the character in a certain way, and we can see a bit of Michael Corleone in some of his other performances. But this is his own person, and he was able to do that because he was able to resonate with the character.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's important. That's important.
That's good. Yeah, that was good. All right. And
She just been running through these questions.
yeah, like and your answer, you were touching on a whole different other topic as well, and which is nice, and which is very much so needed because, like you said, life experience
Mhm.
will bring some of your best work.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So my question is then, what is your dream role? What is a role you always want?
Well, so funny. My dream roles I actually have had the opportunity to do. That was to play Rose Maxon in Fences.
I saw that in your resume. I'm like, oh, okay.
And Rob, I've always wanted to. I love August Wilson. I think he's fantastic. I think he's playwright extraordinaire. And then I had the opportunity to bring her. And I tell you guys, one of the greatest accolades I have received thus far was when someone told me, like, oh my goodness, I saw Viola Davis do this, but damn, Viola Davis ain't got nothing on you in this role. Oh Lord, I'm done. And then I know how I feel about Viola Davis. I said, I am done. So that was a dream role. And there's so many other, type of roles I want to play. I would like to play something really, really gritty.
When you say gritty, you talking about like Meech's mom and BMF?
Yes.
Okay.
Something like that.
That's so very specific.
Very gritty, but yeah.
Yeah,
Very,
like
very
because she had to be there because she was a drug dealer. She was a drug lord,
Mhm.
and so things like, and when you say that you want to play something like something gritty, do you think that the circumstance require them to be gritty, or like are they just their person to be gritty?
I think the circumstances they've been through made them gritty.
Okay.
And when I say I only play a gritty character, that character doesn't necessarily have to be the bad character.
Yeah.
I can be the good guy and still have a lot of grit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Depends on how you're doing it. What you get from it, what you bring into it, and how you come about it. So people like think, oh, it's a gritty character, or the character, oh, they must be the anti, or the art, or whatever. No. Gritty, down in your face, mean looking the whole nine, still can be the good guy.
Yeah.
All depends on the character, the contents of the script, and how you portray it. So I would love to play something like that. And I'm also a big fan of westerns. So yeah.
Oh, you got the wheels turning in my head right now.
You don't really get like too many like women. Well, I haven't seen because I watched Western School. And I didn't really see too many women that played like there was like in Western.
I think the best portrayal we've seen, especially with black women, is in The Harder They Fall.
Yes.
Regina King. Zazie Beetz. Yep.
So a western. Oh my gosh, heck yeah, I would love to do a western.
That's good. And you got a lot of spunk, a lot of
yes,
and a lot of just like knowledge and wisdom and everything. And of course, it came with life experiences.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and what I'm looking at, you look good.
Thank
You look good. So, like, I'm guessing like you, like.
Come don't do that. Don't get nobody in trouble with these faces.
What?
She got there like, she look good, Jamal. She look good. Look, she's trying to say
this is a compliment.
No, I said, okay, that's nice.
Okay.
He out here hyping it. I don't know what that was. That was together.
Well, thank you.
Because this is not Nana. She ain't coming here looking like nobody Nana.
This is not at all. She done raised all her kids. Look, y'all got your own kids now. I don't
Yeah.
enough of my kids.
I'm never trying to live her life. I'm never trying to live her life. Absolutely. But
Yeah.
thank you for that, love. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. And with the story centered around domestic violence and psychological and everything, what are you trying to get the psychological instead of telling Khalid that but you reminding him the mental aspect of like going and see your mom, like you creating that mental connection, everything like that. And with the domestic, with Khalid killing Darrell, with shooting him, do you think that there was a good solution to the end to the domestic violence?
No, not at all. Although did he deserve it? Yeah, maybe. But who am I? It's not me for the judge. I don't think violence begets violence. However, there's some certain situations because we're people. We have our faults, our flaws. We all fall down, and just it's the nature of the beast. Sometimes you're pushed, then sometimes you push back hard, and sometimes that's just the result of. Sometimes it's just a result of. I cannot, and I'm just gonna be keeping it 100 honest. I can't say honestly that there are some people who don't need to be, and I use the word evaporated. To me, it just sounds nicer.
Okay.
There's some people who probably need to be evaporated, but my God, for me, I'm like, how would I feel about myself if I had to take another life? Yeah. That would be hard, and we got it well with self-defense. Yeah, but still, I don't know how I would be able to look at me. I tell myself all the time, if it came down to it, me and mine, of course I'm gonna do what I can do to protect me, my family, whatever the case may be, but that still has to be something to take a life. And then there's some people who do it over and over again, it doesn't bother them. So I don't know the moral compass. I'm not sure what that is, but could have been handled a different way for me. Someone like Darrell, instead of killing him, and because of me, I would rather see him rot in a very tiny room for the rest of his life, so he can relive and understand why are you here. Yeah. So
you get the torture and you get the life.
Yeah, exactly. So I would like to get in his head every day for the rest of his natural life. Yeah. And understand why you're in this little bitty box with no freedom. So yeah, I think that'll be actually befitting punishment as well.
And do you think that is a punishment that everybody who is like putting their hands on somebody?
Absolutely. Because to domestic violence. Yeah, that's like one of the worst things you can do to another person. I mean, my God, you have no respect, no regard, no love, no remorse. Evaporating them, to me, that's a little too final. To me, that's too quick.
That's a good.
Evaporate. That's too quick. That's too easy. I want you to fit it. I want you to understand. Why this is happening to you. I'm not going to release you that quick. Maybe down the road. But me for a minute, you're gonna wear that. You're gonna wear that thing. You're gonna wear it. So yeah, I would like to see them wear it. And put them in a place, in a situation where now you are not the biggest, the baddest, and the boldest.
Now take it hard. Even though domestic violence is a bad form, do you think the mental? Because Layla was locked up in that mindset that like he's paying the bill, so we could like take the domestic violence. But like, which one do you think will live longer, the mental abuse or the domestic violence abuse?
Mental.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the mental abuse definitely is going to linger because you can hit me, cut me, shoot me, stab me. My body can heal. My body can heal. But this here, how do you heal that? How do you heal this? So I think mental abuse, not only is it lingering and can be lingering, that is what passes on domestic abuse to the next person. You know what I'm saying? It's a cycle. So it starts here. If you can't get it together here, then you're going to pass it on, and that's why the cycle continues. It's not just a cycle. Oh, I saw somebody hit, so I'm going to hit somebody. Or he grew up in a home where he saw his daddy hit his mom, so he's going to hit his mom. That child has been mentally abused as well because of domestic violence. So now he thinks that's how it has to happen. That's how he thinks he has to react, and so on and so on and so on. So I'd say counseling, therapy, it's very much needed at a very young age when people are exposed to that type of behavior.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. You got anything?
No, she was phenomenal. She nailed every single one of these questions.
Very much so.
Great at being interviewed, great at being in front of the camera. Y'all do have to see her at Actions Never Rest. Like I said, she's a one-take one to read. Did not have to. I think we were just
did a second take just for safety.
Yeah, just for safety.
She just did it.
Yeah.
She was doing it. I was like, okay, look.
Thank you.
everything, every aspect of it, professionalism through and through. She was on time and said, "Well, we weren't on time." So, hey, yes, Miss Sunday, that's that lady. Okay, definitely take it for your next project because she was absolutely phenomenal, and you got to check her out. Ashes Never Rest.
What else do you have coming? Like, what's next?
Okay, well, I'm definitely, I do a lot of theater in the Atlanta area. So I'm actually start rehearsing for a new project Sunday. I am doing a live stage reading in Conyers at I think it's the Circa, right downtown Conyers. A live stage reading, a couple of different plays, and it's about Black people, their situations from the 1920s on, and it's a couple of different stage plays. It's going to be phenomenal.
Yes.
And if you are a TV person, I am going to be in a movie.
Okay.
It's going to be on Prime.
Yes.
It's going to air. It's going to air December 3rd.
That's good.
And it's with Eva Longoria, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh my goodness, this is a big night. That's exactly. Exactly.
So I'm excited. So y'all gonna see me a totally different character
Yes.
than that. So I'm holiday mom number one, and I'm on the stage dancing, and I'm acting a complete holiday fool.
You and Eva and Michelle.
Yes.
Shoot.
So that's what I got coming up, and like I said, I continue to work. This is what I do full time. So continue working, continue honing my skills, and continue to try to bring people great entertainment.
That's
Absolutely.
Guys, good. That's fine.
You got anything else, brother?
I have nothing else.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Continue to be
No, yes.
you. Continue. You brought the talent.
Mm-hmm.
You brought the skill.
Appreciate it.
And
And
came
that's
together.
it.
That's right.
Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for
All right,
having
folks.
All right.